probably could have been a member of Nature Boy's cult. Hey y'all, I am Osha Cerese, your dream doula, supporting you with birthing the life, love, and business you desire. Welcome to my channel. Feel free to come on in, grab a seat. Make sure you like and subscribe and share and comment and do all the things that you need to do while you're here. I'm going to keep it quick. I just wanted to come on here and talk about the documentary that I watched a couple of days ago. It is The Cult of Nature Boy. And based on what people are talking about online, I can tell that y'all wasn't there when it was going on. And by being there, I mean glued to your screens as this was happening in real time. And please don't mistake my smile for taking what they went through lightly. It was a mess. There was some trauma involved, some abuse, some terrible things that occurred, but also some foolery. And I was glued in. And low key, if I wasn't careful, I probably could have been a member of Nature Boy's cult. But not really. No, I'm just saying. The reason why I say that is because when I first got wind of the whole Nature Boy thing, I believe it was called melanation before it was called carbonation. And before I get into all that, I'm making this video because I'm not going to go into the full depths of what went on there because, of course, I don't know because I wasn't there. But as far as what I saw, but I will say that the documentary left out a lot. If you want to just get some information about what the hell was going on, who he is, an overview of what went on there, it's well put together. And I'm not minimizing all the work that was put into it. And the T, I follow her on Instagram. I've seen the work that she's put in on her YouTube over the years. Definitely people put in work to make that happen, but a lot was left out. And I'm thinking that it was probably left out because a lot of the people who were a part of Nature Boy's cult, whether they were there when it was melanation or carbonation or whatever it evolved into, a lot of them do not want anything to do with anything Nature Boy associated. A lot of them have moved on with their lives. They don't want to be associated, whether it's because maybe it'll implicate them for some of the things that they participated in, or they have just moved on and they're healing and that's re-triggering them to be a part of it, even to be a part of the conversations. Some of them feel like it was just a part of their journey and they have nothing outside of good things to say about him. They feel like it was a part of what they needed to experience and they're not willing to be a part of anything that takes on him in a negative way. And there are some people who, they're not even really vocal online at all. So I understand that part, protecting people who don't want to be a part of it. And it's so much stuff that I feel like it would take. That was a 4-part documentary. I think it would take a minimum of like a 6-episode, 3-season type deal. And I did hear that there's like a 44-part series documentary somewhere on YouTube. So if you can find that, go check it out. I'm not really interested in seeing it because I saw what was going on real time. I didn't start watching at the very beginning. And then towards the end, I stopped watching when it got like out of control, when it was like, okay, clearly this man had lost his mind. Y'all can have that. So back what I was saying, when I said I could have been a part of the cult, this is what I mean. When I first saw melanation on my timeline, I was fairly new into being a vegan. And when you're a Black vegan, you're looking for people who are like-minded and also who look like you. So that's why when I first started with my vegan journey in March of 2016, I started with Dr. Sebi's nutritional guide because I don't know where to start. I don't have anybody in my immediate family or friend circle who's vegan. Let me look up Black vegans and see what I get. And of course, you're always going to be introduced to Dr. Sebi. So I followed his nutritional guide for about 6 weeks until I damn near passed out at work because it's very strict and I wasn't following it. I was following it to a T, but I wasn't eating enough. So your girl almost passed out, but I digress. I'll talk about that in another video. But when I first saw melanation, I'm seeing these Black people, they're vegan, they're in the tropics, the sun is shining, there's beautiful nature all around, and they were naked. Like, of course, they couldn't show themselves bucket naked on the internet, but they were showing that they live in nature and they're in harmony and they've escaped Babylon and they're, breaking through the matrix. And at this point, I was still working as a nurse. And so I was like wanting to get out of corporate, get out of working for other people. And I'm like, this is very interesting, very intriguing. Who wouldn't want to be butt naked on an island with Black people eating fruits and vegetables and living off the land and, creating this community? I wasn't that interested though, because for one, community is beautiful. I love community. I promote community, but I also need my time to myself. I need my own family, my own lifestyle. And I quickly started seeing what was really up as I started watching more. But I will say that that is what drew me in. That was what got me intrigued. And that was what kept me watching, wanting to know more. So when I say that I could have joined at that point in my life where I was and what it looked like, what it appeared to be, I can see why someone would be drawn to that. And for the people that did join, they were a lot younger. They had different stories. They had different upbringing. So they may not have had that light bulb to go off like, they may not have had that level of discernment. And they may not have experience dealing with a narcissist or someone who has even pimp type qualities that I was able to recognize, pick up what you're putting down. I see it happening. I see it evolving, and it's a no for me, but I'm gonna watch because it was like a reality show after a while. One of the things that I feel like they didn't speak about in the documentary is the reasons why a lot of people came to them. And this is not just the people who were interviewed or whatever, but there were certain members that came because they had health issues, whether it was autoimmune diseases, incurable STDs, different ailments that they were experiencing. And at the time, I believe Nature Boy was preaching that he could help heal people of those type of things with his method. Similar to like people go to Dr. Sebi for healing or Dr. Sebi's retreat in Honduras. He was kind of presenting himself to be able to give you the key to healing, whether it's starting with your mind, your diet, all of these things. I don't remember everything that they used to teach, but I remember it would be like astrology, maybe astronomy, numerology, something like that. Like there was like 6 or 7 different topics that everybody had to learn. He also had a B6 diet where it was like heavily B6 enriched diet that was vegan. It was a thing that wasn't really discussed in the documentary. So spoilers, if you want to watch it or if you want to dive into it, I'm gonna be talking about things that were or were not in the documentary. Also, I remember one of the qualifications to come to the cult, they weren't calling it that at the time, but one of them was like, not only did they have to separate and isolate from their family, but they had to study his teachings. They had to literally start living in tents and stuff, living as if they're already in the cult prior to coming there. He also didn't mention that some of the members actually left their children, not just their families, but their actual children, and detached from them to come to the cult. And he encouraged that. There was another member there that was allegedly encouraged to stop taking her medicine, and she passed away, an older lady. So some of those things weren't mentioned, maybe because they couldn't be proven. I don't know. So when I started watching, he had another woman that he was with. So they spoke about his oldest son's mom, I believe. There was another lady that was there. I can't remember her name, but when Velvet, who went by EJ, and then she also went by Eliana, when she arrived and she was dating Almac, Nature Boy had another woman. She got pregnant, and I ain't seen her since. Like before she could even have their son, I believe they had a son. She got up out of there, and I haven't seen her since. Like literally vanished without a trace, as far as I'm concerned, because I didn't, follow up or figure out where she went. But I haven't seen anything about her since then. She got up out of there, moved on. Then they didn't talk about the fact that Almac, if I'm saying his name right, that him and Velvet didn't just break up. Like there was a lot of things that went on. They talked a little bit about Nature Boy kind of getting into her head and stuff, and like coercing her to break up with him. But they also didn't mention how they like left him stranded, left Almac stranded somewhere in one of these countries that they were in, and pulled off in the van without him. So it was a lot of like little details like that weren't mentioned. I didn't really hear them mention when Nature Boy would pair the couples together. He would want to pair like light skin with dark skin. I think they mentioned something about it, but he would try to pair, if it was a light skinned woman, a dark skinned man. If it was a light skinned man, a dark skinned woman, to hopefully allow the baby to have the chance of being darker, basically. So he started coupling people up like that at first. There were so many people that were there that were coupled up, and then next thing you know, they didn't have no couples. The women was all with Nature Boy, but there were so many things that happened in between that. There were lots of breakups and makeups and rearranging couples and trying to figure out who worked with who. It quickly went from this paradise where it was all about diet and grounding. I think that was one of the topics that they had to learn about, grounding. It went from all of that and light and love and eating healthy and being in tune with nature and all of the things, to a lot of control, a lot of dominance, a lot of fucking mess. Let's just say it like that. Like he would have these real nigga moments where anytime there was an issue or any tension or anything outside of what he wanted it to be, everybody would have to be huddled up in the living room talking, or really listening to his ass talk, Nature Boy, for hours. And he would live stream it. And there was one particular real nigga moment when, fast forward to Velvet, I'm trying to call her by her real name and not the name that he gave her, which was Eliana. She was pregnant, and there was something going on where at this point, because her and Almac, whatever his name is, I'm sorry, I'm butchering his name. It was something about their breakup, and Nature Boy was trying to get Velvet to take accountability for her part and to apologize for it, as if he didn't manipulate the whole situation. And he just kept badgering her. But meanwhile, people in the comments had been talking about her or saying something crazy to her or whatever. He was going off. Like you're not finna stress out my pregnant wife, going off on people in the comments. But then he was badgering her. Every time she was apologizing, he was just making it seem like she wasn't saying it right. She wasn't being authentic. And he was just clearly stressing her out. So as I'm watching this, I low-key got a flashback to how I used to feel in a previous relationship where I'm just constantly trying to do something right. And I'm being told that I'm not doing it right. And I'm having to, try to make you feel like you're satisfied with something and you're never satisfied. So it really made me feel like I need to say something to her, because she was a young lady in her early 20s, late teens, early 20s when she got there, but she was in her early 20s, I think, and he's in his mid 30s or maybe even late 30s at this point. I went on ahead and sent a request to go live with them because I had something to say. And because I had watched so much of their footage, I knew what type of time they be on. I knew what type of time he's on. So even if he's upset with them and they're obviously irritated or agitated by it, they can't show it because he's gonna act a fool. They can't verbalize. They can only say so much before he snaps on them or goes off or has them up for hours. So I knew that even if I'm calling in to defend her or say something, she can't necessarily say, yeah, you're right, because they'll turn on you. Even if you're calling to defend them or commenting to defend them, they're going to turn on you to honor Nature Boy. So this particular time, I knew I wanted her to hear me. It wasn't even necessarily about him. So I had to coddle his ego, because I know how these type of men are. So I had to dummy myself down and say, please don't block me. And I complimented him and I was telling him how I really like when you all do these type of lives, because at that point, this had been probably a couple of years in of watching. And at this point, they were like, sometimes they would have nights where they would listen to R&B. And I think he had a little voice on him. Like a lot of them were talented. Like they could sing, dance. There were artists. He was a barber. He would cut their hair. So a lot of them had talent. He would sing. They would be listening to R&B, and then they would just be having their little moments around the house, him and the women. And it was a nice vibe. Like you could tell everybody was happy and, just having a good time. So I was telling him like, I like when y'all do that. I like the energy that you all have when you are vibing out, listening to your music. But I feel like, she's trying to do what you want her to do, but you're not accepting that she's already said the apology. And I was able to say what I needed to say, but I had to do it very gently and submit to his ego just to say it. And then of course she turned on me and he turned on me after I said it, but I did say it. And I did used to have like conversations with her after that in the inbox, just letting her know when she used to go escape. I think that's another thing that wasn't in the documentary, that I believe she escaped maybe once or twice before the last time. I definitely would send her words of encouragement when she did get brave enough to leave. So I'll insert a clip of the live.
It's not that you want me physically, it's that you want him to think more like me. That's all.
I feel that. Well, I appreciate your telling us what's up. You definitely enlightened me. When you gonna be reading people astrology sites? Because I like to.
I do that shit randomly though.
Oh, I gotta catch you then when you do it. Just remember
right,
me. I'm a coolest driver. Love myself too.
All right.
Bye.
Yo, I want y'all to know, like, I was already in Babylon, dominated that shit. Like, I left because I was like already the man in Babylon. I didn't want to be the man in Babylon. I was tired of it. Yo, what's going on, Reflection?
Hey. So, since this is real nigga moments, I just want to know, do you allow people to give their perspective from what they're seeing watching this live? Without being
really offensive? Don't care. I don't really care for your perspective. Like, really, I don't. Like, why do I care?
I know you don't, but I really need to say it. Because I feel like your mood is trying to lighten up while you're eating a little bit. But I really enjoyed your live when y'all was listening, vibing out to music earlier this week. I enjoy your lives when you when y'all roasting and laughing and joking and you sharing your music. The wave is real positive and the vibe is real nice. It's intriguing to watch, but I don't want to get blocked. But I'm just gonna say this: when y'all was having y'all real nigga moment earlier, Eliana, I feel like Eliana was really sharing that she felt bad about what happened between her and Omac. I feel like you weren't receptive to what she was saying, or she wasn't saying it the way you wanted her to say it, and you flashed out on her. You had just flashed out on the people that were being negative to her, saying that's your wife, she's 9 months pregnant, respect her, I don't want to stress her out. And then you were kind of going off on her because she wasn't expressing it the way you wanted her to. And I think that in that moment, you weren't seeing it, but we can see it as we're watching it. She said that she was wrong. She said that.
Nah, you can't speak for everybody. You gotta speak for you.
I'm not trying to.
You just said we.
I said we what?
You said we could tell. Like you said we. Who was we?
Okay.
You and your baby?
I was reading the comments. You weren't reading because you were going off.
I don't care about those comments. So
okay, so I'm gonna speak
just
for
because
me.
you got 2 or 3 people in the comments like, yo, yeah.
It wasn't 2 or 3.
Listen, it don't matter if it's 2 or 3. I really don't care. I'm not a follower. I do not give a fuck about what these people think about me, man. That's what you got to realize about me. I don't give a fuck what you think about me. So this is what I'm gonna say. Listen, if you gonna go, this is when you start selling your soul out. You can't be someone that do what people want you to do. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be real with you. I don't care about what the crowd want. The crowd don't know what the fuck they want till you tell them what they want. People don't know what the fuck they want till you tell them what they want. I'm doing something that ain't nobody doing. Like the way I'm doing it. You understand? You know why? Because listen to what I'm saying to you. Because at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck about what the crowd think. I never did. That's where I'm at. So I never will care about what all these people think. Because one minute they'll be like, yeah, these are yes men. These people are fucking, most of these people is lame that the real niggas don't even comment. How about that? Real niggas don't even comment. You got about 30 plus people in the comments. That's it. It's 335 people, 30 plus people in the comments is commenting. Most people just sitting back watching this shit. The niggas in the comments be the motherfuckers that's stupid as hell anyway. So you can't pay attention to the comments. Think about the psychology.
Right, you don't have to. Don't worry about what nobody thinks.
Really be commenting on
I'm not coming. Listen, I'm not coming out here to tell you what you should think.
I'm just saying that's number one.
Or who you should care about.
Now, number two is this. I respect your perspective, right? Because that's how you perceived it.
But you ain't even listened to the whole thing yet.
Yeah, I heard you. You basically said that I wasn't listening to I wasn't listening to Eliana. You think that she said she was expressing that she was sorry, but I wasn't listening to her, and so because I didn't see that, she didn't say it the way I wanted her to say it. I barked on her.
But listen, also, when she got frustrated, you felt like she was getting frustrated because it was the time of the conversation where she was supposed to admit her wrongs. She was fine up until then. I think the frustration came in when you weren't hearing that she was expressing it. You were just like, come on, man, all these people gonna think this is, she not trying to have everybody on your head like it was all your fault. I really felt like in
how you gonna tell me about the woman that I'm literally physically?
I'm not telling you. I never.
No. This is what I want to make clear. I want to make this clear. How the fuck are you gonna tell me about a woman I'm fucking sucking, licking everything every fucking day? How you gonna tell me about how she feels? Whoa. Let me finish. Yo, how the fuck are you gonna tell me how my woman is feeling when I know her better than she know herself? Talk to me. How you gonna tell me how she feel when I know how she feel more than you could ever even fathom? You can only think you know how she feel, nigga. I'm here. I'm with her. I know her better than you ever think you could know her. That's
I didn't say I didn't. I didn't say I knew.
All right, so your perspective is non-valid. Your perspective is just
it's valid.
On the wall. We can wash that off.
Oh yeah, Jay.
You know what I mean? Like it's not really valid because you're telling me about how my woman was feeling, and I'm telling you you're wrong. You're wrong. That's not how she was feeling. She told you how she was feeling right after. You could look at it again. How the fuck you gonna tell me about somebody that I'm physically connected to?
And she doesn't want you to be mad at her.
I know Eliana better than Eliana knows herself.
I know, but she doesn't like when you're mad at her.
Yeah, of course. So nobody likes when I'm mad at them that's in my life. And that's
I know,
why
you were just going off on the whole
What I'm saying is
everybody was tense when you got all riled up. Nobody likes for you to be like that. Everybody want to be cool.
Hey,
you had a moment.
Look, let me say this. I don't let people regulate my energy. I'm me.
Right. You regulate the energy.
No, I regulate it. You're right. It's my life, nigga. I do what I want all throughout here. People come in my life. That don't mean I gotta alter my energy because you here. Nigga, I'm gonna be me with or without you. I was here, but I was me because nigga, that's how I talk. That's how I give up. You think I'm yelling, nigga. I'm talking regular. It's me. That's how I talk. Well, if you don't know that, that's just you. It's not talking from New York.
I know how you talk.
All right, then. Don't take it no.
We can have a conversation.
Listen, like I said, I was like this from day one. This is how I am. Anybody that ever know me, they know this how he is. That's how he talk. Like this me. I'll be wild. I'm a loud nigga. You feel me? That's how I am. I'm a powerful nigga. You feel me? And so at the end of the day, you said everybody get upset when I'm upset. Nah, nigga, I don't give a fuck.
I didn't say that.
You said people don't like it. People basically you said people get upset when I get upset because people don't like it when I'm upset. I know what the fuck you said. Try to switch my shit around for. Look, you gonna make me block you.
Hey, you can't switch what I said.
You gonna make me block you. I know what you said. Don't try to play like I don't know what you said. I know what you said.
I said you set the tone for the room. You're the leader of the house. So when
it's not that I'm the leader of the house. I'm the leader of me. Listen, I'm the leader of me. They're the leader of them. Ain't no fucking leader. Listen. Let me tell you something.
That's your count.
Listen, let me tell you something. No, it's not. Niggas is their own leader. Listen, let me tell you something. And stop cutting me off while I get you out of here quick. Because if you keep putting like little shit in between what I'm saying, then I can see what you're doing. And I will just, you know what I mean, block you. Listen. So at the end of the day, I'm a leader of me. And everybody in here is a leader of their own fucking self. We have morals and rules we live by. If anybody lives with me, we're going to live by these morals together. That's what we live by. But every person is their own fucking leader. I'm going to be me. I'm going to be me. This is my house. If I let you in my world, why would I stop being me? Because you here. Nigga, I'm still me. I'm going to be me. Like, why the fuck would I was me before you met me. That's the reason why you fuck with me. Why would I stop being me because you're in my life now? I'm not going to alter who the fuck I am because you're here. I'm going to be me even more. I'm me. I love me. That's the problem. That's the problem with people. They want to be who everybody wants them to be instead of just being their fucking self. See, no one can come in my life and change me. I'm me.
But
So
what in my sentence that... Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'm just saying, what did I say that makes you respond and say you're going to always be you? I never said don't be you.
No, you said that this is what you said. You said that the people in my life get upset because I'm the leader. When I'm upset,
no,
they get upset.
I didn't say that.
This is what you said, bro. This is what you said.
Let me tell you what I said, and then you can respond.
I know what you said, man. Come on, you're trying to insult my intelligence.
I said that Eliana doesn't like when you're mad at her.
Listen, I'm not mad at her.
You said nobody likes it.
Listen, you just said that. You said you're the leader of your camp, and you lead people in. I'm about to get you out of here, yo. You just said that shit.
When you rewind it, you'll see where I ain't
gonna rewind shit. You just said that I'm the leader of my camp. You just said I'm the leader of my camp. You trying to play mind games. You think somebody's silly.
I'm not.
You think somebody's silly, but you the one silly. Listen, you said you're the leader of your camp. Nobody likes it. Nobody likes it when you're upset at them. That's exactly what you said, homie. When you were upset, you talking to a mastermind. You did say that at first. You said Eliana doesn't like when you mad at her, right?
Right.
And then I was talking, and you was like, well, I was like, listen, I was telling you that everybody their own leader. You like, you're their leader. You're their leader. This is what you said. So cut it out. Cut it out. You're not job talking no one.
I said Eliana,
you're not slick talking, hustling no one. Let me get you up out of here. This is what it is.
Get me up out of here. I'm just speaking the truth. I know what I said.
You're not speaking
it's not
no
even
truth.
that deep to block me. It's not.
No.
I'm not trying.
What I'm saying is because you're being disrespectful right now, and we're not getting nowhere with this conversation. You're still talking. I'm giving you an opportunity not to be blocked right now. You're still talking. I'm giving you right now. You're trying to confuse the situation so we don't get nowhere. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to come to the conclusion of the matter because my mind thinks clear. You're trying to confuse it. Eliana can speak for herself. I know Eliana better than you could ever know her. Your perspective of what you've seen.
Yes, you can.
Your perspective of what you've seen is really a non-factor. You gave me your perspective. I heard it. I disagreed. I agree to disagree. That's it. You're wrong. I'm right. I'm right and you're wrong. Period. You know what I'm saying? Point blank, period. All right, peace. Fuck out of here. You see how the devil move? Trying to motherfucking make your words twist up. Bitch, you got me bent. Hey, yo,
Another big part that was not added to the documentary is young Pharaoh. That was a huge part of what had me locked in because young Pharaoh, I don't know if y'all know him. I'm not going to go all the way into details about who he is, but you can do your research. You know, he's a part of the conscious community. He used to have so many different teachings about uplifting Black. I think his methodology was Black women is God, Black woman is God. I feel like that's what Nature Boy used to be on in the beginning too. But he definitely talked about like Kemetic principles and, just raising consciousness. And at this particular time, it was like he was going head to head with a lot of people in the conscious community with debates, and he was good at it. And he was on Nature Boy's ass. He was on Carbonation's ass. He was calling people out. And he wasn't just doing it from a place of malice. Like he really was concerned about some of the members that were there. They're deteriorating. Can I say that word? Deteriorating health. And he was kind of trying to help some of the families connect with their loved ones who were in this cult. And he was bringing awareness to some of the women had babies around the same time. And someone's baby wasn't looking like they were being nourished properly. And they didn't look very healthy. They had lost a lot of weight out of respect for her because I do follow her and her journey. And her and her child and her man are doing great now. At the time, they weren't doing so well. And it was like young Pharaoh was on their ass so much about calling this out, not them particularly, but on Nature Boy and the way things were being handled, that some members ended up leaving and, going on about their journey. But that was a very pivotal part of dismantling a lot of things that was going on down there, shining light on it. So yeah, you can do your Googles and you can find out what actually happened, but they did not put that in there. And I'm sure it's because of the members don't really want no parts of that. And another thing, I'm not going to speak too much on out of respect for their family, but Velvet's father, who she did mention in the documentary, or I don't know if she mentioned, but I think they showed a video of her going live talking to him, and Nature Boy is always having to be present whenever she did talk to her loved ones. Her father stepped for her. Her father and his wife was not playing with Nature Boy. He was adamant about getting his baby girl out of that cult. He talked to Nature Boy. He tried to talk to him man to man. He talked to him, let him know that he ain't playing with him as well. And then eventually he ended up popping up on their ass. They looked up. They were in Mexico. They looked up and her dad was right there. And he came down there and he met Nature Boy and he met his grandbaby. And, he did what he could. I'm so happy that she was able to get out permanently while her father was still living, because he passed away shortly after that. He put in that work to get his daughter out. So it wasn't just the Caucasian lady from Canada whose family really was doing their due diligence to get their people out. Her family stepped for her. It was a lot. so much that I can't even put it all in one video, but I will say that the documentary gave you a little sugar-coated version of what was going on out there. But I just saw it evolve. Like I said, in the beginning, it seemed like, I'm creating community. These are like-minded people. Come be with us. We learning about the earth and grounding and astrology and astronomy and your zodiac, and your all of them knew how to read birth charts. Brilliant minds. And then it turned into, the polygamy part was heavily promoted. There were also some weird things that Nature Boy used to say about, children and being exposed to nudity, or his own nudity, his manhood. If his son grabbed him, he wouldn't stop him. Stuff like that may or may not have been taken out of context, but were said, and it didn't sit well with people. Nature Boy was he was the type that would probably do something strange for a piece of change before he even became this cult leader. He definitely was a male dancer, and then he was in adult entertainment in male on male type videos. He was outside, but he became a barber. He was in Rex, Georgia, I think, had a barbershop, sold it. A lot of people had brought their inheritance. People was bringing their military money. People was bringing all type of money from all type of different places to give it to him. So it's just so much that I can't even cover in one video. But I will say that I saw it evolve from something that seemed like, a revolutionary oasis of healing and self-love and Black love and legacy and love, to somewhat of like a sex cult, control, someone with a superiority complex, like all of the things, to this is a whole damn fool. Like the abuse, the keeping people when they didn't want to be kept. You saying that they can leave, but can they? Like, you're in these fenced Airbnbs, you got all their stuff, their passports, their documents. You got everybody in here ready to beat their ass. So it's just a lot. And then it got to a point where I just had to stop watching. When he started calling himself Three God, they didn't even talk about that. They showed it, but I don't even think they named the name that he was calling himself. Once they moved out of the tropics, which of course things had gotten worse already before they came to Atlanta. But once they were in Atlanta walking around, he was just pretty much acting as a pimp at that point. A pimp with his hoes and drinking. He started smoking weed again. I believe they stopped eating vegan after a while. They was just doing whatever. And like the documentary said, like he just felt like, let me just show who I truly am at that point. So I saw that darkness. That's why I really stopped watching, because I'm an empath. And I started to feel that dark energy coming through the phones into my energy field. And I was like, we're not doing that. You need to be having these conversations with kids, because it's not just about a cult, because sometimes people feel so far removed from that they don't think that the conversation is necessary. And it's not just with your kids, it's with anybody in your family, loved ones, in your circle. These were young ladies that were adults, technically, young men that were adults, technically. So, having these conversations, because it's not just cults. Sometimes it could be religious groups that become very, very scary. Sometimes it can be, listen, I'm not going to name no name because I don't need nobody coming for me. But there's a particular makeup company. Is it makeup? Beauty company. And the members of this company are very cult-like. I've had an experience where I've been asked, oh, I want to share with you the products that I sell. I want to offer you a free facial. And then I show up for the free facial, and it's really just these products set up with the intention of me doing the facial myself, to test out the products on half of my face and then wash it off and like, oh, see the difference? And these are these products. And actually come into this other room with me so I can share your testimony with a few people that are there. I go in the other room. It's a whole group of people there waiting to hear me speak. And I didn't even know I signed up to be a speaker. But this particular company, their members are very cult-like. So I'm just saying, there are companies, there are religious groups, there are communities that can be very cult-like. And on top of that, seeing the signs of abusers, pimps, people that prey on naivete, however you say it. When you're naive and you're very easily influenced and you're gullible, people can talk you out of a lot of things. Your money, your body, your mindset, your morals, your character. They can have you doing things that you never thought you would do. I've experienced, not to the level of cult, but to the level of doing things that I never thought that I would do. And I'll be talking about them in my book. I think it's very important to research how this works and see it working. Like, we've heard about cults in the past. We've heard about Jim Jones and these things that we feel like are so far removed from our personal experience or the possibility of it happening to people that we know or that look like us. But Nature Boy is a Black dude somewhat, he was attractive at one point. He had some attractive qualities, from New York that moved to Georgia, that got the gift of the gab, and his ass was an abuser, a narcissist, violent, God complex, quote, allegedly, because I can't diagnose the man, and doing pimp like things. And eventually he was a self-proclaimed pimp. But before he started calling himself that, you could see the qualities of how a pimp works. They're breaking you down, build you up, breaking down, get into your mind, having you give all your resources, your money, your body, having you do things that you don't necessarily want to do, pimping you out. And eventually these women were engaging in acts, some of them knowing or unknowingly participating in things that he would post on Twitter of their sexual encounters. So you went from uplifting Black women and uplifting Black people and promoting Black love, and then going to polygamy and polygyny, or whatever the mindset was around it, to, messy stuff, abuse, and then adult entertainment, which is like full circle for what he was already known to do. So I'm saying all this to say, talk to your people, watch the documentary, and if you feel more intrigued to learn something deeper about it, there's series and different exposés online on YouTube that you can dive deeper into it. And it's important to have conversations about what can happen if you allow certain people to influence you, if you allow certain people to give you their thought process, and you take on whatever it is that they feel, think, believe as your own belief. And in his case, he eventually believed that he was God, and he made everybody else that was in his cult, there physically or online, believe it too. You really have to keep yourself grounded, keep your mind right, and keep your knowledge of self so nobody else can tell you who you are, because he eventually started operating like how they would back in slavery, renaming you, controlling you, breaking you down, making you believe exactly what he believes. So that's my take on it. If you want me to go deeper into it, to maybe some of the things that I didn't talk about, because I didn't put any notes, I just came on here and talked about it. If you want to know more about what I witnessed or my opinions on certain things when it comes to Nature Boy and his cult, feel free to comment about it, and we can further the conversation, or maybe we could talk about something related to it that may have sparked during this talk. Again, I'm Osha Cerese, your dream doula. If you are someone who needs a little support, or a lot of support on your journey, if you are someone who is needing some support on healing, self-love, self-discovery, if you've gone through a heartbreak, divorce, toxic relationship, if you are someone who is in need of just a guide or a tool to push you to get to the next level of healing, I am accepting new clients. Or if you've done the work, if you have done your healing work, if you have overcome some of the things that you have overcome and you're ready to get back out there and start dating intentionally, and you want some support on that journey, I can support you with that as well. Stan.store/Osha Cerese to book my services. I will also link it in the description, and I will talk to y'all later.